government should have full authority to regulate these digital contents so that the morality of us youths, the morality of the people, should be high up instead of it being down.
By making the internet independent, it has acted as an element of truth, unmasking social evils and heinous activities of the government.
Dira Media Services, your story, our lens.
This is because in our country today, we are living in a digital world where rumors and propaganda spread out very fast. And we believe that if the government can have full control of the content being spread by the people, the youths in the nation, then we are going to be in a better place. First, I want to say that by controlling the content in our country, it will protect the national security. In this way, by controlling the content, we are going to protect our national security, because if we find that people are spreading rumors and propagandas here and there, then our nation is not going to be protected in a good manner. For instance, if we are having maybe hate speech, somebody is delivering a hate speech to the president or any other official in the government, then we are going to destroy our country, and that is not what we want as the youths of this nation. And then by controlling the nation, by controlling the content, we are going to have peace and harmony. For instance, last week we find that Gen Zs were on a riot, and by controlling the content, because you find that probably, for example, in a place where I live in Eldoret, there were a lot of riots and a lot of things that were not covered, because if they were covered, then the people will also react negatively, or maybe cause another chaos that will not be helping us. So by controlling the content, the media did not cover up that picture, because I can attest that on that day, the people who are living near the area, there were some bullets and shots all over, but it could not be shared, because it will incite other people to do the same. I'm feeling that the government should also have the full content regulation, because in our country today, where you find that almost 80% of the people are technology, have technology, like are aware of the technology, and they are using it to maybe to spread their content, believing that they are good or bad. But I want to say that the government should have the full control, because you find that there are some people who are maybe posting some challenges that are not beneficial to the youths. For instance, you find that there are some individuals who are posting, maybe they are using the nudity, there's some individuals who are posting maybe some TikTok challenges that are not beneficial to the youth. And that's why you find that the government regulated the content by ensuring that the people who are using the TikTok are supposed to be sharing the content that can be consumed by every individual, starting from the young person to the elder, according to the age. And therefore, they set some strategies to ensure that comes to place. Because as we can say that in TikTok, for instance, TikTok is one of the things that has been one of the social media platforms that has been derailing the young generation. It has been derailing the young generation because you find that the challenges they are putting, or maybe the terms they are using in their challenge are not good, and therefore the regulation was done by our government and the other presidents of other governments. Thank you.
Hold, buckle up for flight. Ready with me, your pilot, Davis Waluse Leslie, in for the Logic Dynasty, hereby standing firm to affirm my opposition to the motion. The government should have full authority to regulate digital content in Kenya. I believe the first proposer ought to define this motion for us so that we can get to understand what it's speaking about. So let me break it down for you. The government, the national authority responsible for enforcing laws, to have full power is to have complete or unrestricted authority to control, to regulate, to set rules or laws to manage something, how something operates, online content, any information shared digitally via the internet. Knowing is understanding, and understanding is realizing that the government will misuse this opportunity if given the chance to cover up itself, run clean on negative posts about it like corruption. I bet you have heard of the principle of favoritism, whereby when you are given the authority or administration over something, you bet to tender yourself more than the people, other people, the people you are administering. So this government, if it has the full authority over online platforms like TikTok, YouTube, even Facebook, it will delete all the content against its operation. It will delete anything, corruption, anything, abuse of power, even anything, bad manners of leaders. I bet you understand what I'm saying. By making the internet independent, it has acted as an element of truth, unmasking social evils and heinous activities of the government. If it were not for the internet, word will not have spread of Albert Ojwang. I bet you know who Albert Ojwang is. Albert Ojwang, the person who is said to have been murdered of sharing some information which was negative of the government. So he was murdered, he was a Gen Z. That's why people are rioting out there. That's why police stations are getting banned. Information spread through online content and digital content. So I just want to ask I just have some questions for the proposer side. When will we do away with this slaves mentality of being African? When will we learn to take responsibility? When will we stop being the sheep and try being the shepherd for once? Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Teris Chakwech, and greetings to all of you. Today I am here to propose the motion that goes by, the government should have full authority to regulate digital content in Kenya. And firstly, my comment is that we have seen that 80% of majorly youths here in Kenya, they are in TikTok apps, YouTube apps, and you'll find out that maybe at home, for example, instead of them helping out, maybe a parent has called out and said, excuse me, maybe Mercy, come here, help me do this. And this child is still focusing at the phone looking at an app. Now that's something which is called disobedience and irresponsibility. Parents want us to be active, and when we listen to what they say, they might even give us full opportunities to just stay. Maybe if I want to be a TikToker, they can give me that opportunity. But if I behave irresponsibly by not listening to them, and I know you're asking me, where is this point going to? That's why we have something known as PG, parental guidance. Parental guidance was made by the government. And it is said that without this, you'll find out that in these apps, there are some immoralities that take part there. And without this parental guidance thing, it's going to mislead the youths. Like you'll find majorly they will be staring around like they don't have nothing important to do. So, government should have full authority to regulate these digital contents so that the morality of us youths, the morality of the people, should be high up instead of it being down. And because the proposer asked us a question, when will we be Africans? We will always be Africans. And it's just a matter of us sitting down or even talking to each other. Even a person can speak to him or herself, saying that, oh, so this is wrong, this is right, and what I am posting, it's right, and is it right, is it wrong, such that it can reduce such cases about Albert Ojwang. I think it was Albert Ojwang, right? Yeah. So I think that the government is right and it has full authority to regulate digital content in Kenya. Also, about the immoralities that take part in the YouTube panels, the TikTok panels, we should have, the government should make filters. And what I mean by filters is that before something is being posted, before some action that is being done is being posted, it should be regulated first. It should be analyzed. I mean, how is it going to be that you just make a tweet or a post that it might even affect children? You see, these young children, they see what people are posting. And nowadays, we all know that these young children, majorly the JSS and the children maybe below or above 6 years, most of them have phones. They are together, and I mean that they are into technology. Now, if they are allowed to look at things that they are not supposed to, they will be practicing it in the future, and that is not going to bring a good picture. So, yeah, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, adjudicators and fellow thinkers, I hope you're having a good morning. But unlike me, I would have been doing well, easy, and smooth simultaneously. But up until I heard this proposer speak is when I realized that I have to stand here and with all my body organs firmly disagree with that motion. Now, I was keenly listening to the submissions made by my proposers. At first, I thought they were detailed and important, but I've just realized that the important parts are not detailed, and the detailed parts are not important. Now, let me now come to my point. The first proposer, Akot, you spoke something about, you are contradicting yourself, and that is why I want to say this. You are telling us that these strikes that were there last week, they were not covered, and that is because the government is having authority over the digital content. That is why they never wanted. In fact, you're telling me that in Eldoret City, no, it is a city. You're telling me that you're hearing bullets. But tell me about that. Do you think if it was a right thing, they would have made KTN and NTV not working? So that what are they trying to intend? What is the intention behind that? Is it to help people or destroy people now that it brought a lot of deaths and people never knew about it? Now, also the second proposer, you are dispensing a point orthogonally, and this is what you are telling us. You are talking about content creation. Do you know, according to GSMA, a research that was done in 2023, it was recording that Kenya's economy, by 2028, digital economy, that is investing in digital things and also content creation in TikTok, the one that you're talking about, and the one that you're also talking about, which is making people stay on their phones. Do you know it increases Kenya's GDP by 11.5%? A whooping 11.5%. But now you can stand here and firmly encourage us that it is the government should have the power to regulate it. Another thing, or furthermore, or rather nonetheless, Let us talk about the freedom of expression. I want to take us through the flight to China. How many people know China? Do you know China? Do you know the president? He is known as Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping, a dictator. Do you know one of the things that they do? In fact, they only have 2 online websites. Number one, Weibo, another one, WeChat, and they're highly censored by the government. And do you know, even when I want to talk to you through the phone, they know what you're talking about, and that is why you can never criticize. And when you see something being done wrong, you cannot criticize. Now that you don't have authority over your words, whatever you criticize can bring your death, speak about Cyprian Nyakundi, speak about Albert, Aliyah, who have been kidnapped here in Kenya. Pursuant to the accountability of their words, rules are already there. The government does not need to have full authority over it. This will discourage foreign investors. Mark my words, foreign investors. Plain blank, period.
My name is Charlene Tutsili, and I greet you all. So I'm here to propose the motion that the government should have full authority to regulate digital content in Kenya. Why is that? Because when the government has full authority to regulate the digital content, it protects children and vulnerable audiences against vices. It regulates and shields children from watching violence, cyberbullying online, and makes them have healthier minds and more productive minds, and they are not distracted by unnecessary vices. And also, it helps to promote national unity by controlling hate speech, tribal matters, especially on social media. The government can prevent violence like what happened in 2007 and 2008 past elections. If the government had full authority to regulate digital content at that time, people wouldn't have succumbed to death like they succumbed to death at that time, because if the government had full authority to regulate digital content, some content wouldn't have been spread, and it couldn't have led to the death of people. And it also prevents misinformation and fake news during elections and pandemics. Like during the COVID-19 pandemic, they were spreading, you can find a person spreading that today like 1,000 people have died, and it was not true. You will find like it was just only 5 people who had succumbed to death at that time. So when the government can regulate digital content in Kenya, it makes people to know, like it prevents fake news and makes us to know like what is real and not all that's fake.
My oh my, it is becoming simpler time by time. 1 minute is enough for me to clarify. The motion the government should have full authority to regulate digital content in Kenya, I do not agree with the motion. And therefore, I say that the motion threatens freedom, democracy, and economic growth. I would like to tell you all that this is a form of crushing digital freedom which will chase away innovation and jobs. I would like to ask you a question. Do you know why the government, up to now, 2025, has not regulated content in YouTube, TikTok, and other apps? Do you know why? Because technology is developing or evolving faster than the government itself. So let me tell you, as you try to convince us that the motion should be agreed upon, I tell you that this will be like a scenario when Jesus Christ is riding a bicycle. Thank you.
I think something that we've observed as judges is for both the teams, actually you did very well, for starters. But maybe something that we observed is you're a bit shy with giving research, giving evidence. I think the second speaker here gave a bit of statistics and evidence, but mostly, majorly, you did not give evidence on that. On style and presentation, well done. Most of you did well. Again, maybe for the girls, very impressive, but maybe next time, please come with that. What is it called? The guts, come to fight. There was passion and conviction, again, amazing from both the teams. Maybe I'll talk about the opposers. You countered well, very well done. You countered what they said, so that was amazing. Something again that we observed was on, was it not introducing yourself? I think some of you missed on that. Yeah, not saying who you are. So majorly, I think that was it. But again, a comment maybe to the girls' school, well informed. Your coherency of argument, it's made a lot of, it's flow. Yeah, I think that's the word. It's really, it's made a lot of, sense.
A good number were confident and were able to demonstrate. You could even think they had the motion 15 years before this day. So I want to really appreciate the two ends of the girls' school and the boys' school. I think most of what I wanted to say have been addressed by my co-judge. I just want to say that to the two sides, feel free, speak. Let what you are saying be heard. Do not fear. Take the stage is yours for the 3 minutes or 1 minute that is you have been given, and speak to us. Speak to the judges, speak to the audience, speak to your fellow debaters, and let your point be heard. I've witnessed a bit of some form of laxity or a stammer. Maybe some of us were not sure. So I think we can improve on that. Yes, you can be sure of what you are saying, and then you make it come out of yourself so that it is heard. Otherwise, you've done a good work. Thank you.
Let me say something about coherence of argument, because as we are judging you guys, we are looking at your language, we are looking at whether or not you're audible. So ukiingia sema jina lako and mkue audible. And then the other thing is that kuna vitu tuna expect from this motion, because there's another team that is going to debate. So I'm not going to give you the results now.